Hi, my name is Makasy, and I was on YouTube and I saw this video recently. Okay, I saw the thumbnail. I didn't watch it. I don't really watch these sorts of video, and it reminded me of all of the times that I've seen these sorts of video. The alternative to insert whatever here, the alternative to Isimiyaki, the alternative to Rick, the alternative to whatever is hot, whatever sneaker is hot right now. I'm not in the loop about the trendy stuff, the alternative to whatever high price ticket item there is going on right now. Anytime a big ticket item comes out that are generally either super expensive or they sell out quickly, and then you would get these sorts of video like the alternative to whatever. Some people are just not fortunate enough to have enough discretionary income to buy these big ticket items, or some people are too slow because they sell out too quickly. Whatever reason that may be, they weren't able to get the it item or the big ticketed items. Now, for me, I don't personally believe in buying alternative. It goes against my belief of buying one thing that I truly love over five things that I like. So I firmly believe in that, and I believe no matter how many alternative you get, you will not be as happy or you will not be as satisfied because you will not be as satisfied as you would have if you were to get the item that you love. So, okay, you know what? I'm kind of sick of saying big ticketed item or the item. So let's use an example. Let's say the Regoin Van sneakers. They're pricey, sell out all the time. So for now, our example will be the Regoin's Van sneakers, the vintage sneakers. So these are high priced, they're constantly sold out, and it has a good resale value to them. And some people might not want to pay resale. So, okay, so I will be providing you with some pointers as to why I don't believe in buying alternative. So let's see how convincing I can be to you guys. But before we get into that, a disclaimer. So I am in a very privileged position to be able to afford these items and to have the knowledge that I have to get these items before they sold out. So I understand that for some, they may have more pressing responsibility that they need to take care of. And, either that or they don't have enough savings to buy that high price item, or they're not fast enough. Whatever reason they have, those are all valid. What I'm saying to you with this video is I'm saying towards the impatient people who wanted these Regoin's Van sneakers, but they're sold out, or they can't quite justify the price tag yet, or they don't have enough money to buy it yet, so now they're sold out. So I think that's all the disclaimer has. So let's see how convincing I can be to you guys. Okay, so think of your level of happiness as like a spectrum, So from this end to this end, at this very end, this is what you would get satisfaction-wise or happiness-wise if you were to get the Rick Owens Van sneakers, so right here. But if you were to get the alternative, let's say you were to get the Ramones, the Geo Basket, or hell, the regular Vans, you would get the satisfaction somewhere right here. So there's a gap between here, and it might satisfy most of the itch, but not fully. I hope you know what I mean. So there's that gap between the alternative to the Rick Owens Van. That gap may be very small, but it's there and you will feel it. It's okay, let's use an example. So let's say it's 2 a.m. right now and you want McDonald's fries, but the closest McDonald's to you is closed. And the next closest McDonald's is 20 minutes away, and you don't want to drive 20 minutes at 2 a.m. Understandable. So there's a Wendy nearby that's only 5 minutes away, and they open till 3. So if you were to get the Wendy fries, it will satisfy you, but not fully, because Wendy fries are not as good as McDonald's fries. That's my opinion. Actually, no, that's a fact. McDonald's fries are far superior than Wendy's. So it's great. Wendy is great. You will get the fries, but you will not get the McDonald's fries. So again, the satisfaction of Wendy's fries are here. The satisfaction that you would have gotten if you were to drive that 20 minutes for the McDonald's is here. There's a gap between Wendy and McDonald's. And my second point is kind of like picking off the first point, is that you just bought something you liked in the hope that it will itch or scratch the itch that you have of getting something you love. So I recently acquired these Rick Owens pannier trousers. Been after it for years. from afar, it may look like just another pair of cargo trousers. And, a quick Google will find you a lot of alternatives that are far cheaper and you can get right away. But I didn't settle because I truly, wholeheartedly believe that if I get the item that I want, the love item, it will be exponentially better than the 5 items that I kind of like or like. So one of the reasons that I use this saying a lot is because I've been through it. I made those mistakes back in high school. Okay, so here's an example. So back in high school, the LeBron 9s, they were super, super popular. I love the shoes, and it was during All-Star seasons. And that year, the Nike went super hard. So the LeBron had the Big Bang, the Kobe and the KD, those were all super cool. But I wanted the LeBron 9's Big Bang. And I wasn't able to get it because they were sold out so quickly and the resale price was crazy at that point. So instead, I got the LeBron 9 Dunkman. But I wasn't fully satisfied with it. And I was still looking up photos of the Big Bang because that's the shoes I wanted. So I settled. I got something alternative to the one thing that I wanted. And I thought it would make me happy, and it did, but it didn't fully satisfy that itch because it's literally the same shoes, but just different colorway. But it didn't scratch that itch fully. Again, the example right here, the alternative is here. The fully scratch, the item you love is here. That gap is very pronounced. It may be small, but it's very pronounced. Most of the time, when you are buying an alternative item, it's completely different. Okay, well, not completely different. It's different enough to have it called the alternative. So my example of the LeBron 9, it's literally the same shoes, but just different colors. So let's say, okay, let's do a quick search on Essence. Let's search up quick cargo trousers. So okay, let's look at this. So I literally found a very similar trousers with the 3D pockets, similar to the pannier pockets. It's just not the wide cut. But okay, so pannier on this side, the other cargo on this side. On paper, they share a lot of similar traits. Would it have scratched the itch that I had for the pannier? Yeah, but again, on the spectrum, not fully scratched it, just most of it. And if I were to get, what side did I put it on? If I were to get the alternative cargo trousers, I would still pine after the Rick Owen pannier trouser because it's still in my head. I didn't fully scratch the itch. So I would still want the pannier trouser. I would still waste a lot of time looking up on Grail listing trying to find a good deal out of it because the alternative is supposed to scratch the itch and make me stop looking at pannier trouser, right? But it didn't because it didn't really scratch the spot. It didn't hit it fully, not 100%, maybe 95%, but that 5% is very pronounced. So now I'm stuck with a pair of trousers that I like, but I still want the pannier trousers because I got the alternative, but I didn't fully scratch it. The itch is still here. Okay, so this next point, it's kind of only applied to situation like the item being sold out or you haven't saved up enough money to get the regular Vans sneakers. So you bought the alternative. Let's say you got the Vans. Let's say you got the Ramon. So you're fairly happy, but again, you're not fully happy. And then let's say 3, 4 months from now. So right now it's May. Let's say in September, the shoes came back in stock and you saw it while you were scrolling and you saw the size and the color that you want. Now, excuse me, now you will face a dilemma because you got what you thought would have scratched the itch, but it clearly hasn't because you're still thinking about getting the Rick Owens fan sneakers. And now that it's available, you're like, okay, if the alternative was supposed to do its job, which is to, satisfy that itch, you would not be angry at yourself right now because you weren't patient enough to wait for the shoes to come back in stock, or now your money has stacked up higher. So you're stuck at you got this dilemma that you can't solve while having a pair of shoes that you kind of like but not love. And this will just confirm that you made a mistake of getting something you like instead of something you love. So now you either have to sell the alternative, probably for a loss, and get the new item, or you live with your guilt of being impatient or not having, yeah, impatient. It works for both situations. If the item's sold out or you haven't saved enough money, so impatient. Okay, so let's use the own pleaser example again. So this is gonna sound a bit elitist and kind of like gatekeepy, but I know that I feel a lot better when someone asks me, "Hey, what pants are you wearing?" I can be like, "I'm wearing On Plissé, Isamiyaki On Plissé." But if you were to get the alternative, if you were to get the Zara version, you would have to say, "Okay, so I really wanted the On Plissé trousers, but they were sold out, or I didn't have enough money, and I was impatient, so I got this Zara version instead." But this Zara version is supposed to look like the On Plissé. It's an alternative. It's not worse. It's not better. It's just the alternative. So you would have to justify so much just because you got the alternative, and you would not say it as proudly as you would have had you gotten the On Plissé. Now that tag of Zara versus On Plissé, that will haunt you. And I know this sounds very elitist and very what's the word? It sounds very wrong just to have the item from the own place instead of Zara, but it matters. To me, it matters, and I know to some of you it matters, and to some of you, you're probably saying I'm fucking stupid. It's the same item, but if you get what I mean, you know that it matters. The on plissé, that tag, it matters more than the Zara tag. So my story with the pannier trouser, it's a bit more interesting to tell. So I saw it on the Mastodon, missed out on the release when they re-released these for the Flagathon because I wasn't that into Ricoing back then. Stalked a bunch of listing on Grail, on eBay, checking out photo repeatedly, look up photos how people wear them, just like, damn, just dreaming of owning these pants and dreaming of what you would do, what I would do with these trousers, lowballing a couple Grail listings just to see if they would bite. So there's a story with me and the pannier trousers. Most of us, with items that we have in our closet, we have a story connected to each piece we have. And that story would kind of instantly like become like a bad story or a turnoff if you end it by saying, well, I gave up, I was impatient, I got an alternative to it. That just it feels like it feels like the story is incomplete. It feels like that chapter of that chapter hasn't closed yet. You kind of just like put a bandage on it. Like it's not finished. You haven't fixed it. You haven't scratched that itch yet. I'm using too many examples. Let's use the itch example. And the reason we buy these designer clothes because they speak to us. Like it has a story, and our journey to acquire these pieces, it's part of the story. So I am more attached to some items in my closet more than others because of the story I have with it. So for example, my Klaus jacket, I was stalking that shit the moment I saw it on the runway. So every day I would look up photos, and then I saw this photo right here of this woman like wearing it, and I was like, oh my God, that looks so good. So my obsession with the Klaus jacket like has made me more attached to it than say my Hyder Ackerman jacket because I didn't look up this jacket every day. I didn't search up everything I didn't search up every possible thing I could learn about the jacket. But with the Klaus jacket, I did. The cow fur, I did that whole video. I did like a 22 minutes video of what pony hair is. My Creech cargo trousers, I also have a deep history with that because I saw it when I was a sneakerhead and when I was a hypebeast. And I saw it on ASAP Rocky, I saw it on Kanye, I saw it on Travis Scott, I saw it on LeBron. So everybody was wearing it. But at the time, I couldn't justify the $800 price tag. When you're a sneakerhead, it's much easier to justify, I'll spend $1,000 on these sneakers. But if you look at trousers and if they cost more than $100, you're like, nope, that's way too much. That's way too much. I would never pay over $100 for sneakers. I mean, for trousers. So that was me. So, and I got the Creech cargo trousers now, and they're great. But I have gotten better trousers already. My Gap Bala trouser, my Pannier cargo trousers, these are better. But I was finally able to scratch that itch that I had when I was a sneakerhead back in 2012, 2013. So the Gap Bala trouser, the Pannier trousers, although they are better, they never scratch that itch because the dream was to get the Creech cargo trousers because that's what sneakerhead Makasy couldn't get or didn't want to get or couldn't justify to get. So I hope all of these examples kind of make you see my point as to why buying alternative is a bad idea. There's a reason why you want what you wanted. Price may be out of budget, sold out. If the price out of your budget, save up. If it's out of stock, be patient. They will become available again. If they're not, somebody on Grail will list it, and eventually you'll be comfortable enough with the price of the Grail listing and you can get it. As much as you will love the alternative that you found from ASOS, H&M, Zara, whatever Instagram brand that you got it from, it may be good, but you will not love it as much as you would have loved the real deal. So on the spectrum, again, the alternative is here, the satisfaction, the itch is here, but the full itch, the full satisfaction is right here if you were to get the real deal. That gap may be small, but it's very pronounced. And to truly hammer my point across, let's put this into a more universal example. Excuse me. Let's put this into a more universal example. So men, male, my audience, years ago you saw a porn that you like. Let's say 5 years ago you saw a porn that you like, but you forgot the name of the porn, you forgot the name of the actor. Would you be satisfied with the video that you found that is kind of similar? Would you? My name is Makasy. I will talk to you next week. Bye bye.